Hi, my name is Jane Powell. Welcome to Community Connections, a show showcasing community involvement. Today, we have a special guest, Marie Beaver, Executive Director of Ray of Hope. Welcome, Marie.
Thank you. It's really nice to be here.
Great. So let's just jump right into it. Why don't you tell us about Ray of Hope?
Well, Ray of Hope is a home for women on the east end of Charleston, and we originally opened in 2005. We just celebrated 100 graduates this week. We had a little open house for that. And our mission is to serve and treat women 18 and over who are in recovery from drug and alcohol addiction, to provide them safe, affordable housing, and to promote self-sufficiency.
100 graduates, that's quite a milestone. Congratulations.
Yeah, I didn't know, time has gone by very quickly. When they hired me in 2003, it was an empty house on the East End, and they said, you know, if you want a job next year, you have to find the money. So that was a good incentive.
Yep.
And, fast forward, doing remodeling, we really wanted the home to be a home, not an institution. So we did a lot of work to make it that way. And so we were able to start accepting women May 1st of 2005, when we only had 10 beds at the original site.
So in 2005, you opened one house, but you've expanded since then, is that right?
Yes, we have. In 2008, we realized there was a need for continued care, because we had these women would come here from all over West Virginia, and as we all know, West Virginia is very rural, and there's not the same opportunities in some of these counties as that we have in Charleston. Public transportation, employment, daycare, counseling, a lot of support systems that they would get in place here. And then when they finished with us after 6 months or a year, it's like, what do we do now? And the ones that wanted to stay in Charleston, they're really the only places that they could afford to live weren't always conducive to their ongoing recovery. So we found, actually one of our neighbors approached us because of what good care we took of our property. And he had an apartment building next door to his home, around the corner, and asked us if we were interested. So we wrote several grants and partnered with the Federal Home Loan Bank of Pittsburgh and the West Virginia Housing Development Fund and the Department of Health and Human Resources, Behavioral Health and Health Facilities.
Wow.
And we wrote those grants and received the money, and it was almost $500,000. We purchased and rehabbed an apartment building where we have 7 apartments exclusively for our graduates. So the only women that live there are women that have successfully gone through our program, and they can be reunited with their minor children over there. It's kind of like letting your teenager move into the garage apartment in the backyard. There's still structure, there's still rules to be followed, but they have their privacy, and so there's, they have learning some restrictions that they put on themselves, not necessarily by us.
Right. But even with your growth, I'm sure there's still a need.
There is, and as a result of that, over the last few years, we have maintained all our data. I'm big on numbers, so we've collected a lot of information since opening. And what we realized was we've been maintaining a waiting list really since 2007. Obviously not the same people, but it's been ongoing. And so as a result of that, we purchased 2 more properties and opened Ray of Hope 2, which is, and that was in December of 2011. And then we opened New Life Apartments 2, which in July of 2012. So what Ray of Hope 1 and 2 are staffed 24/7, and that's like the first phase of the program. When they come there, that's where they come to initially.
Okay.
And we're not treatment. So our mission criteria is that they have to already have 30 days abstinence, which means they've already successfully completed an inpatient or an outpatient treatment program. We're not trying to convince anybody that they have a problem. We want people that know they have a problem and they want to do something about it. Now, everybody's not always motivated by the same factors. Some people are motivated because the judge tells them to do it, or because they don't want to go to jail, or they want to keep their children, or they want to keep their job, or whatever it is. But we all have motivators, that push us in that direction. So that's Ray of Hope 1 and 2. Like I said, those are staffed. And for a successful completion from that program, our definition is you have to have at least 6 months with us, total abstinence the whole time. We have 0 tolerance. If they have to leave the same day. We do random drug screens and drug screens for cause, and anytime we're suspicious, every time they come back from a pass. They have to work full time while they're there. If they can't work for any reason, if they're on disability, they have to do at least 25 hours of community service every week. Or if they're in school, they can't just sit there and do nothing.
Right.
And they have to attend at least 5 meetings a week, self-help meetings. They have to pay their way, which is why we're big on self-sufficiency. Their parents can't pay it. Their boyfriends can't pay it. They can't receive the money from anywhere else. Any other agencies can't pay it. They have to pay it themselves out of their paycheck.
Wow.
Well, we have found that if we empower these women to take care of themselves, with shelter being our most basic need, if we can't provide shelter for ourselves, then the chances of them, being successful in their recovery and taking care of themselves and their children are not very good.
Right.
So, we're big on personal responsibility, and we push that from the day they get here. And I've had other people say, well, how do you get them to pay that, and I said, because we expect them.
Right.
It's just it's a lot like parenting,
Mm-hmm.
And you have to set the tone, and it's consistent.
Yes.
And it's the same for everybody.
It's tough love.
Exactly. We do love them. There's a lot of hugs, and it's like I said, like parenting. Some days I'm their favorite thing, and some days they don't want to see me or talk to me at all,
Right. Now, your program has been very successful, and you've copyrighted it.
Thank you. Yes, we have. We've been asked by a lot of other areas of the state, because we've received women from over 39 counties in West Virginia.
And it is a program just for women, is
Yes,
that right?
yes,
Okay.
just adult women 18 and over. And our board got together, and it was very flattering. It's like, you need to come open up a Ray of Hope here. You need to come open it up there. And you know how your ego kind of gets real big, and you're just like, oh, yeah, we're doing great. But we really thought about it. We thought sometimes, when you try to spread yourself too thin, you stop doing what you really do well because you're trying to do too much.
Right.
And I wish I need to learn that in my personal life, too. So we got together, and we decided that what we could do, what we felt like would be the most beneficial thing, was we put together what we call the Ray of Hope Recovery Guidebook.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 160 pages, and it's copyrighted, and it's bound, and what it is that all the everything you need to start a new program. It doesn't have the policy and procedures, but it has everything for day-to-day operations. It has job descriptions, it has staffing requirements, it has the rules and regulations of the house, it has every form that you could use, it has just everything that we could think of. And we also implement that and help them put that into practice, and we train their staff.
Oh, that's a big help.
Yeah, so what we do is we sell the program as a bundle, the book, and the training that goes along with it. And so we've already sold one to a place in Wheeling.
Great. Now, if someone were interested in purchasing this or talking with you more about it, they would contact you.
Yes, they could call me. Obviously, our phone number is 304-344-5363.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, there it is on the
Yep.
screen for anyone who might need it.
Yeah.
Yes, or check your website. Yes, of course. Great resource
Yeah.
there. So I know you've applied for lots of grants and you get great funding that way, but I'm sure individuals, and that you have fundraisers. Is that true?
Yes. Yes, we have. We're just by ourselves. We're not under any other entity or anything like that, and we do about 35% of our budget is through one big grant, and then we have private foundations, we have private individuals, we have churches, our program fees, in kind. We try to do everything. We try to be innovative, which is like creating the recovery guidebook and
Right.
collecting our fees. And one thing is our fundraiser that we call Miracle on Lee Street
Okay.
every year. And it started out at 5 years, we said it was 5 and 50 graduates in 5 years. But we've just grown really fast, and now last year was 8 years, but we had over 90 graduates. So, and now we haven't gotten to our 9th year, and we've already had 102 graduates. So, but we have a dinner and a silent auction, and we have some of our past graduates and their family members speak.
Mm-hmm.
And because we think it's important, this disease does not just affect the person that's doing it. It destroys families. And we have some of the family, we've had parents, we've had children of the addict or alcoholic, we have siblings that have come and shared what it was like for them and what it means for their family member to be in recovery and how it's changed their life.
Wow.
So it's really powerful. We've had a lot of great success, and it's been a great evening.
Good. So once that you've had 102 graduates,
Yep.
so after they graduate and they technically move out and they're on their own, is there any sort of follow-up? Do you have contact with them?
Yes, we do. Well, especially if they move into our apartments,
Right.
which we're all on the same block. And but what we do is we follow all our graduates at 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, and 1 year post-graduation, and we're tracking 5 areas. Are they still alcohol and drug-free? Are they attending self-help support meetings? Are they working? Have they had any other legal issues at all? And are they living in a safe place? And so we have documented all of that. And at 1 year post-discharge from our Phase 1 program, 73% of the women are still clean and sober at 1 year, working and no problems.
73, that's a great percentage.
Yeah, well, 73 are still clean and sober. 85%, are still working and no legal problems. If they go into our apartments, and 1 year post-graduation from there, 93% are still clean and sober. So it shows you that the longer that we can engage them in a safe, supportive, structured environment, the better their long-term outcomes are. So we've been excited about that.
Great. What wonderful results. That's fabulous.
Thank you.
Tell me plans for the future.
People say, are you going to keep growing? You're going to open something? And my staff says, if you do anything else, we're going to quit. So it's been very stressful and, and exciting at the same time because we've grown really pretty quickly. When you think about it, in 8 years, we've gone from 1 property to 4, from 1 staff member to 9, and from an operating budget of about $160,000 to an operating budget of $570.
Wow.
So it's been a lot of change, but it's all been positive and it's all been good change. And if we do anything else, we'll probably focus more on long-term affordable housing, the long-term apartments, because we have a lot of women that, they just don't have anywhere to go.
Right.
And so we encourage them to do that, and we offer a really low rate so that they can pay off their fines, maybe pay back child support, do everything they can so they can be totally, remove as many barriers as possible from them being successful. Because it takes a long time to rebuild the wreckage of your life.
Yes, it does.
Credit, fines history, employment history, just so many different things.
And please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe some of your staff are graduates of your program.
Yes, thank you. We started a long time ago. We figured when we wanted to expand about hiring staff, it's like, well, we have the best people right here that understand the program, and they can give back. So we started hiring our staff as like what we called house techs, or the people that work in the evening and the weekends. And they were able to be a role model as well as it helped them in their recovery, and it was a way for them to stay involved. Well, it evolved, and we have such talented, smart women. Our admissions coordinator is a Ray of Hope graduate. Our case manager is a Ray of Hope graduate. I think like 5 of our house techs are Ray of Hope graduates. But at the same time, they're going to school. While they're with us, we've had 1 graduate from college. I have like 4 that are enrolled, 1 that's scheduled to graduate in December that's in the National Honor Society. 1 gave the commencement speech at her graduation. They're just excelling, which just goes to show you, the success that, alcohol and drug destroys lives, but we can recover and people do get better and they can put their lives back together and they can be successful, responsible, and acceptable members of our society and really shine.
Well, I know there's 102 graduates out there that are proof, and very thankful for your program. And again, why don't you give us the phone number in case anybody has any questions about how they might enter your program or support your program.
Yes, we like that part. It's 304-344-5363. You can also visit our website, which is www.rayofhope.org. And there's a place on there if you would like to donate with it. Even if it's not financially, we have a list of items that we need, different ways to help us.
Great. Thank you very much, Marie. It's fascinating, and thanks for everything that you're doing.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. This has been Community Connections. My name is Jane Powell, and I hope you'll join us again. Goodbye.